Welcome to the closing crew with Dan, Anton, and Brad. What's up? See, I could do it when there's no pressure on
Dude,
me.
I love it. It's you know what? We haven't been doing this, for too long, right? But I already feel like if you don't do it, like it doesn't feel like it started.
So much pressure though when you highlight it.
Yeah, I like it. I like making you uncomfortable. I feel like you
Thanks,
always
Jared.
rise to the occasion when you do.
No, that's awesome.
So it's great. Thank you for that intro. Beautiful intro, Mr. Brad.
Yep.
All right, boys. We're back together again. Back at it again. Anton, how are you?
Doing good.
Awesome. Brad, how are you?
Good, man. The weather's great outside, so I'm enjoying it.
Finally. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was crazy.
Dude.
Yeah. Dude,
April 1st.
Yeah, dude. I thought my house was going to blow down.
Again?
Seriously.
Yeah.
And then, compared to the rest of the country, it's nothing. But
Yeah, dude. Everybody in the rest of the country is like, oh, these California wimps.
I don't know.
know?
It just hailed for a little bit and they're like, everyone,
Yeah. So actually, before, boys, we get into our topic today, I do want to bring up something. We got a comment.
Oh.
We got a comment the other day that I saw.
Was it from
Okay.
Hannah?
Huh?
Was it from one of our wives?
No. It was from one of our, I think, hate listeners.
Oh boy. Okay.
We actually have more than 3 listeners now. I think we have 4.
Okay.
But this 4th listener was saying that I think in response to what Lindsay was saying about how like she feels about when people over the Santa Cruz Mountains, aka San Jose,
Yeah.
go over to Aptos, they hate it.
Yeah.
And then the dude said, "This is how we feel when Californians come to our neck of the woods."
Oh.
And I'm like, that's legit, So I thought maybe we should talk a little bit, just address it a little bit, But why does everybody hate us? Why does everybody hate us? We love everybody.
Yeah.
And that's not true. That's
No,
not true.
that's
There's
not
a lot of
true at all.
bigots here too. Yeah. But
that's funny.
I just figured it'd be fun to address, But we still love you, whoever you are.
Yeah.
I don't know you, but I'm pretty sure you're a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
So
James 9514355.
We'd like to have you on our podcast so we
Yeah.
can have
No.
an in-depth conversation about that.
yeah, it'd be cool if we could bring people together.
Yeah.
If we could make people in the rest of the country hate Californians and New Yorkers, that'd be great.
Oh, that's what they say. Yeah. California and New York. Something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. But I get why. I mean, I think we'll have a whole episode on this, right?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
Talk
because
about
it's a deep subject, and I think there's things to say on both sides.
that. Yeah.
I kind of understand.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think we should do like a Q&A session and review all the comments and answer it.
oh,
and
we
do an
have
answer.
we have 4 comments.
7.
And 3 of them are from my daughter.
Really?
It's like, Dad, get off of there.
You're not hip, Dad.
Yeah.
Get off of the internet.
My friends can see this.
Ew, gross.
Unlike you guys, I have a college kid. So
Oh,
it's more embarrassing.
what's the feedback? I'm curious.
she's
just
just
got
like, I can't watch it, Dad. I'm sorry.
So
So she hasn't watched it yet.
Yeah, I get it. Could you? I mean, think about it. Could you imagine?
No.
Yeah, no way.
Tina loves it.
Oh
Really?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
It's
age,
because
I mean.
yeah. It's funny too because like my kids are like, wow, Daddy's famous.
Yeah. Papa's on TV.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, you're so cool.
Yeah, that's definitely not what my kids are thinking.
Yeah. Our kids will get there
Yeah.
eventually. All right, cool. Well, on this beautiful day today, we are talking about the highs and lows of Bay Area real estate prices. So we'll be talking about the lowest examples, right?
Yep.
Is that right? Of homes, and then also the highest.
Yeah.
And then I guess we'll just kind of rattle off
Mhm,
hot
mhm.
takes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it would be very interesting to see what you can buy
Right.
in the Bay Area. Like what's the
Yeah.
cheapest listing right now and what's the highest. So
Yeah.
Then people can see the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's pull it up.
Yeah. And
So-
we're going through extremes here. So
Okay,
just so you guys,
Yeah.
whoever's listening knows, like this doesn't represent the Bay as a whole,
Right.
but it kind of shows you like, how extreme things can get.
Yeah.
And also let's just call it out. So we are looking at 1235 Farrington Drive in San Jose. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1134 square feet, and it's essentially like you can't even get a loan on this home.
No.
It's
Wow.
unfinished, yeah,
Yeah.
and
so
it's still
Like
$488.
all studs.
I read
$1,000.
the comments. So
Yeah.
there's in the private notes.
Yeah.
Notes basically this home had a fire 3 years ago.
Wow.
So that's why it's in this condition that it's in. It was just listed last week, and the listing agent, after like a few days, posted in there that we are no longer taking offers because we have too many. So
Wow.
at
Yeah.
488, basically you're just buying the land, right? I mean,
What do you think it will go for?
so this part of San Jose, just to give everyone reference, is 95127.
Oh,
which-
dude.
Oh, okay. So it's right here.
Okay.
I think I think I might love
Yeah,
this home. I
it's
think I
like-
was driving by there.
Yeah.
I'm sure Anton will buy it. It's technically, Alum Rock, I guess. So a little bit kind of eastern foothills of San Jose.
It's not the best part of town.
Yeah, the property values here are generally lower. But this home, let's see what the lot size is. 6,200 square foot lot size.
That's healthy.
Which is pretty good size for
Yeah.
single family homes around here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just buying the lot, basically, I don't think it'll get up to $1 million.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But
Not in this area.
let's say in that area, if there is like a okay home,
Mhm.
like everything, all the stats are the same, free
Yeah.
too, like what's it gonna be like around the mill?
A little bit over.
Oh, a little
over.
over.
the mill.
Okay.
Yeah.
For
I
3.2.
I think the last parts of San Jose that are under like 1.2
Yeah.
is probably this side of San Jose.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
'Cause
correct.
every time, like, I have clients that seems like the sweet spot's like 1.25 is kind of the starting point for single family homes. I always have a conversation. I'm like, that's pretty tough, you
Yeah.
know, to get something
Yeah.
in a really good neighborhood, decent schools,
Mhm.
3-bedroom, 2-bath for 1.25.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you kind of go kind of in the eastern part of San Jose.
Yeah.
What do you think this home gonna go for if they have so many offers already? Like what's your prediction?
We'll have to revisit
Yeah.
this like when it does
yeah.
sell.
I
But-
agree.
My guess, working backwards, right? Like if you are
Yeah.
building a new home,
Yeah.
at, let's say you probably wouldn't do 1,100 square feet. You probably do like 1,500 square feet.
Yeah.
Try to do 4 bedrooms.
Mhm.
I don't know, somewhere
Yeah.
around there. I mean, that to have it make sense in terms of flipping it, you're probably, I want to say 750,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Just to flip. If you're
Yeah.
living in it for yourself to
Yeah.
enjoy, then maybe you'll go more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think from an investment standpoint,
Yeah.
the most you'd probably want to
Yeah.
do is 750.
But they listed very aggressively and,
Oh, yeah.
and a lot of 8s.
yeah,
You know that
yeah,
Asian
Yeah.
loves 8s.
yeah. Just for people across the country,
Yeah.
across the country and across the world, a lot of Asian cultures that number 8 is good luck.
Yeah.
So oftentimes we find out here, like with list prices, that people will put in the number 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And they
kind
put
of-
red doors
so-
on them
yeah.
too.
and it's attractive.
Yeah.
Actually, there's
Yeah.
a funny story with Tao. Like we were buying a car, and then we like negotiating the price, and then like you know how it is. It's like looks very, very similar to the timeshare. It's like you talk to one guy, he's like, okay, let me talk to my general manager.
Mhm. Yeah.
The general manager comes, put the number, and then then he's coming back, and then he's putting like last 3 numbers, 888, and Tao is like, so you did those 8 because I'm Asian? You think I like it? He's like, I like the number, but
Oh
That's
man.
you know,
funny.
it's so funny.
Yeah.
She call him out. I was like, I would just laughing.
Oh, that's
You know,
funny.
that was funny. But I mean, they priced it very aggressively. I mean,
Yeah,
there is, no way actually you can get the home done for 500.
Yeah,
in the
and
Bay
what's
Area.
funny is like over the last few years, I feel like there's been a couple homes in the Bay Area that have made national news because they were usually like fire damaged, and
Yeah.
then they sold for a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
But again, with real estate, it's always going to be the land, right? That's
Yeah.
the true value
Mhm.
of what where the price
Yeah.
goes into. So,
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's,
we'll have to revisit this one in about a month and see what it sells for.
Yeah. Actually, I have also story, like not in this area, a little bit down. I think it's more toward the Everest Green
Evergreen?
area.
Yeah.
So it was also like very worn down home. It's like when you walk inside the home, is like carpet is completely rip off, like a dog or cat pee like everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like holes in the walls, ceiling is like falling down, and then like half of the garage door is like damaged. It looks like the car actually drove in
Oh man.
inside the door garage. And I think they listed this for, I think it was 800K. And I mean, I was thinking, like, I mean, who's going to buy it? Like, you know, so I think we did offer on this, I think like 850 or something. So, and then the agent came back and then they said, like, we received like 45 offers. And I think it went over 1 million. But
Oh.
like, when you do the math, like, you know, like say for the flip, there's no way, like if you buy this home for like over 1 mil, you have to put there at least like 200 or 250K to fix everything, because like, you know, roof, like basically everything. You
Yeah.
just keep the studs, everything needs to be redone, because like the doors are old, the windows are old. And yeah, but people still buying it. I mean, but it would only make sense if you're buying this for yourself to live there, you know, and
Totally.
then, yeah, and then eventually it's appreciated in value, and then you can keep this home. But
Right.
if you buy just for the project, I mean, there was definitely like, but I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, that those homes they're
Yeah.
selling like better than than the regular.
Seriously. Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, it's the concept of like, that's why, you know, like a dirty secret of real estate, right? Like,
Yeah.
For the layman, when you see like an asking price for a home, just so everybody knows, like that's not kind of the expectation for the most
Exactly.
part.
Yeah.
Right?
In the Bay
Usually,
Area. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, everybody does it differently, but for the most part, you know, when a home goes, just for everybody at home, right? Like the listing price is it's based on like what similar comps, like comparable homes sold for recently, and then it's usually a little bit less.
Mhm.
That's to drive more eyes on the home, to drive competition, and then to build the price up. So it's the same concept. It's just super extreme, right?
Yeah.
When you go that low. And then also too, I think it's important for people to know, okay, so 488, that's the asking price, right? You have to compete to get that home. But because I think the people that are looking for this home, they're going to fall into one of two camps. One is the investor or the developer, right? Or flipper.
Yep.
And they know what they're getting into, and that's fine.
Mhm.
But the sad group, right, is, you know, the like sad as in like it sucks, because I think the other group are people that are getting into the market, maybe their budget's really low. So this is a way for them to kind of leverage you know, sweat equity to
Right.
try to get that home. But things to consider if you're a new home buyer is that, for one, you can't get a typical loan for a property like that, right? Because a lender's not going to, they're not going to lend
Yeah.
on that,
Yeah.
right? Because it's not safe to live in, you know?
Mhm.
So that's something to take into consideration. And then also, if you do get a bridge loan or something, a construction loan, right? The rates are going to be a lot higher, right? So it's going to cost a lot more to
Yeah.
procure that loan product. And then two, if you don't have a background in developing and project managing, if you're going to do it yourself, that could be a beast. You know, you got to consider permitting. You got to consider, especially right now with all the tariffs and stuff, like cost
Yeah.
of building is super high. So you got to be really careful when you run those numbers. So when you see a home like that, where it's like, oh, you know, kind of run down, but it's 488, we could do it. You got to really, you know, in that specific situation too, really you need to talk to a real estate person to understand like the hidden costs, right? Or things that maybe you're not considering.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. I highly doubt like a first time home buyer is going to end up getting that home.
Well,
Yeah.
so the sad thing is like, I think, yeah, if a first time home buyer came to us, right, us three with that, then obviously we would tell them like, hey, like, you know, these are the things. Are you sure you're okay with this? And blah, blah, blah. And we'd walk them through, and most likely they wouldn't pursue it. But there are some people where, you know, they get hooked up with like a part-time agent or whatever, and they're not going to tell them that stuff.
Yep.
They're just going to be like, yeah, you want to make an offer? Let's make it happen. And
Right.
then,
Yeah.
you know, then they get the home. They're like, oh my gosh. Right.
Yeah.
So you can get the whole world of hurt. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really important to talk to somebody to
Mhm.
make sure
Yeah,
you know
for
what you're
sure.
getting
Yeah.
yourself into.
100%.
So with that one, what do you guys think? Like, I know the range is so broad, looking at a home like that, but what do you think it'll cost to get that home into a competitive condition, I guess? I didn't say that right, but you know what I'm saying.
And the presentable stay, so you can live in this home or
Correct.
sell it eventually.
Right.
Um,
Because I mean, it's not done, and I'm sure there's structural damage.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
there's a
it's
fire, right?
I definitely think it's a teardown.
yeah.
I don't think it's a home where.
Does
I mean, it's already
do they,
torn
do they
down.
say anything in the comments that they have a plan? So any permits approved?
No, nothing. It's all up to the buyer.
Man,
Oh.
Well, I think it's you still can strip it to the studs and probably rebuild it.
well, I mean, it's already
I
down
mean-
to the
I mean,
studs. It looks
yeah.
like, but I feel like
So-
you need like you would definitely need an architect to get in there.
Yeah, I think so. Most of the time, like there are two things you can do. Yeah, you can like tear down and rebuild, which is like way more work because it's basically going to be almost like a new build.
Mhm.
But let's say if you keep the existing structure of the home, it's way easier on the permits too,
Sure.
because like you just put the bathroom where the bathroom was, like kitchen where the kitchen was. But if you do like completely brand new build, is way more work and it's gonna take also way longer
Right.
to do that. So that's why I mean, if you do want to do it cheaper and faster,
Yeah.
I would just rebuild this exact same home when it
Right.
was there,
Yeah.
and then maybe add additional room, like
Yep.
to do 4 bedrooms and then have like 1,500 square foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the frames, I mean,
Yeah,
it looks like it's in okay
yeah,
condition.
yeah.
actually,
It
right?
looks
So-
fine to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean
It's
maybe
already
there
stripped,
is
so
maybe there is something with foundation, but I mean
Right.
all those things it's fixable.
Yeah.
yeah,
it looks like a slab foundation.
Yeah,
think,
it does. Huh?
yeah,
You know, so
yeah. So even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
So we'll have to see what happens.
yeah, it'll be
It's
interesting.
gonna be all cash, so it'll probably close in a couple weeks, and
Yeah.
we can take a look at the sales price. So my
Yeah.
guess is
Seven-
750.
750.
Yeah.
Yeah,
earlier.
that's what
That
I
makes
was.
sense.
That was what I was thinking too.
Oh man, you gotta come up with different numbers,
okay,
guys. Come
okay.
on.
I'll do 749.
Ah.
Just kidding.
Whoever's the
no.
whoever's the
Okay.
furthest away will have to do an intro to our closing
Oh,
crew
okay, so sounds good.
theme. So
Okay, I'll do for 700.
700.
Yeah.
I think 748,888. No, but yeah, I think that that ballpark.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
think
think it
you're
might
right.
even go to 800.
Yeah, I mean, also too, like once again, this isn't like a terrible location, but it's not like the schools are all in the 3s, right? If you care about
can
that.
I see the map again? Actually,
Sure.
really quick?
It's off of Tully, right?
So I might
Story?
I might change my name.
It's like 680 and 101 ish kind of story area.
Yeah,
It's,
So this is
it's a Home Depot.
Capital
Yeah.
Expressway.
No,
That's
I
a
know.
rough area. That's a rough area.
But look,
man.
hey, look! If you decided to build it yourself, there's a Home Depot literally.
Man, you know that this Home Depot.
Yeah.
I remember when I was also doing project a couple years ago, and like we bought a lot of stuff in this Home Depot, and I think they were saying like the worker there, employee was like telling us that this is generates the most revenue. I think like in the Bay Area or in California, I don't remember, but this Home
What?
Depot on the Story Road.
Okay.
Really?
So like if you need like a day
Whoa.
worker or something,
Yeah.
that's the best place to go in the morning. There is like a whole line of people.
Wow.
You know what's interesting is
yeah,
like
it's I don't know why, but like yeah, is always busy and
Yeah.
yeah,
Huh.
it's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That I guess that makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of construction going on over there.
yeah. So because let's say you hire the contractor,
Right.
probably lives in that area.
Yeah.
So they're
right,
buying
right.
materials there, and then they
Right.
go to the site.
Yeah,
So
that area is always so crowded
Yeah,
to me, though.
it
Like,
is.
every time I
It-
go
it
there,
is-
takes me
it's insane.
30 minutes to get out of that
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
But there is really good tacos. It's called Super Taqueria on
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah,
that
yeah.
corner.
Yeah.
It's actually because I asked one of my guy like what's the best tacos in the Bay Area,
Yeah.
and he mentioned this Super Taqueria
Oh,
on that corner
Oh,
where
yeah,
the Home
yeah,
Depot is.
okay.
Yeah.
And like I think a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, we have to go to try it. So we tried those tacos, and they're really good.
Yeah.
like
okay.
really good.
I think I've been to Super Taqueria
Taqueria.
number 2. I think there's like numbers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's one off of Almaden Expressway. That one's pretty good.
So here's a street view of Farrington.
Right.
This is
Okay.
the house itself.
Yeah.
Can we just see like the current homes on the market? How much are they going for? I'm just
You're
curious.
trying to revise your number.
Sneaky, Anton.
Let's
I'm
do
doing-
a search. 95127. Oh wait, actually, I could just do it.
Did I just see 1-7?
9? I
What?
don't think that's the. No, that's a different area. So that you're seeing.
Okay.
So if I do 95127.
Dang, dude, are you doing some business in Los Altos Hills? I saw your safe
Looking for a
search.
client,
Okay.
but where are we? So okay, Home Depot. So the other homes around there.
Nine,
Yeah,
five,
there's a 1.1 home.
Okay,
Over
I'm,
here.
I'm gonna.
two.
You know what? I'm gonna change my answer.
Okay. What's your answer, Dan?
I'm just gonna give it a flat 700.
700.
Oh, that was my number.
Oh, that was your number?
Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a flat 6888888.
So 200,000 above. And there's like a 1.25 over here too.
Just like so to be candid too, like developments and stuff, that's not my wheelhouse. But considering I mean, I'm talking to my developer friends and also clients that are doing some work and things like that. There's a lot of hesitation because of the tariffs and like building costs and stuff like that,
Mhm.
right? So I think if you consider that, I don't know if it's going to be as aggressive or competitive. But I don't know.
But I think agents said that they received too many offers, so no offers.
That's true. But what if they're all junk offers? What if they're all offers
probably
at 500?
$200.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
200K.
Yeah. But
But
Yeah.
okay,
They
okay.
priced it way too low.
I stay with my 700. It's fine.
yeah, they priced it way too low.
What do you staying with your number, Dan?
What's your number?
I don't know. Had a bunch of eights in it. 688888888.
How about all eights for you?
Yeah.
All right, we'll have
It's
to
a
revisit
lucky
that
number,
one.
so you know.
Okay.
Cool. All right. What's the next one we got?
So the next one we're going to look at is the highest priced home in the Bay Area. Now, basically did a search for Santa Clara and San Mateo,
Yeah.
which make up
Yeah.
pretty much the most
Yeah.
of
County.
Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Santa Clara County, San Mateo County.
Yep.
And usually, like, what are the areas where it's like
Yeah.
the
so-
most expensive homes? Like, was it Atherton or like
Right.
Portola
Yeah.
Valley?
Most of the higher priced properties, like besides San Francisco, obviously,
Yeah.
you're looking in San Mateo County. So
Yeah.
that's Woodside, Atherton, Portola Valley,
Yeah.
Hillsboro.
Hillsboro.
You know, so
Okay.
that's kind of where VCs live.
Yeah.
And Steph Curry lives in Atherton. Just,
Yeah.
Let's
Off of
look
Sand
at
Hill?
let's look at the most highest one, and then maybe one below. Let's see what's the gap.
Okay,
I think that would be interesting.
So there's no. I'll preface this with there is some off-market properties that are priced really high, but I didn't. Didn't want to include that since they're off-market, not really available. to the
only for
public.
agents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like anytime you get into like the triple millions, most of them are probably going to be off market, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because- yeah.
Why is that?
Because I mean, the price point is so high. Like the buyer pool is so limited. At that point, I feel like it's really more based on relationships, right? Like, so for instance, if you're selling like a $1 billion home, right? How many people can really buy that home
Jay-Z.
and would want to,
Yeah.
right? So then if it's Jay-Z, isn't he in well, okay, anyways.
Wrong guy, dude. Wrong guy.
No, but isn't he in that group? I thought he was a part of that. Something came out
No
as I hold my
No comment. Sorry, Jay-Z. I love you, brother.
What a suck up, dude. But yeah,
Jay-Z,
like,
if you're ever looking for Bay Area real estate, please call me. Don't call Dan.
but yeah, so if it's Jay-Z, then like, you know, it's a very specific small group.
Yeah.
You're not advertising right on Redfin
Yeah.
to sell that house.
But
You're
you don't want any
calling
average
people.
looky-loo coming in
Okay.
and taking a
Exactly.
look at the
Interesting.
house.
Because like
Yeah.
when I look at the LA area, all those crazy mansions, they are, I think, publicly like on Redfin or
So
like I don't know, Ryan Serhant, like you know,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have like a crazy $500
They
million
are,
homes.
but the one thing about them too, similar to here, some of these higher priced homes is
Yeah.
in order to see them, you have to show that you have the money
Oh, yeah.
in your bank, right?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
and then sometimes I think some agents like to post it on the MLS just for their own branding as well too, right?
Yeah.
some marketing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even those shows, like people think like, you know, it's like a reality real
Yeah.
estate show,
Mhm.
but a lot of those shows are specifically to highlight like a home or something too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly,
Like it serves like multiple
Yeah,
purposes.
that's true.
you know?
I actually had
So-
a client. They were looking like at 3 to 5 mil home,
Mhm.
and I reach out to the agent like, you know, you want to see the home, and they're like, they were asking for the background of the
Oh,
of the
yeah.
client. You know,
Yeah.
they don't want to, I guess, waste time,
Waste
or
everyone's
maybe it
For
was
3 to
or maybe
5?
it happened. I think it was like, I mean, that particular home, I think it was like in 7
okay.
mil, but
Yeah,
like
it's
we were
getting
looking like between like 3-5, and then we found that because it was like, I think almost a year on the market.
Right.
You know?
They tend to last longer.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and then they were asking for the background, and I think it does make sense. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like that. I don't know. Like maybe show a pre-approval or whatever. I guess, but like a background check.
No, but I just describe what this guy do, and then they're like, okay,
Oh, I see what
yeah.
you're saying.
So
Yeah.
I mean, they just want to make sure it's not like someone just want to see the house for like no reason.
Right.
Right.
So the guy was in
This
like
is
a
Brad.
big investor. No.
Because he wants to take a bath.
Yeah, that's actually it's a very interesting strategy. How maybe do one episode about that.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
how he does it.
Yeah.
But are you recording?
I am
Sorry.
recording this home, which I just found on the MLS for
85.
$85 million.
Wow.
It is in Portola Valley.
I don't even know. Like, I have no. I wouldn't even know how to approach that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, okay, you know how you're joking, like, oh, Jay-Z, if you want to buy a house, like, call him. If he called me, I'd be like, dude, I can't help you. I don't have no, dude,
Oh,
$85
dude.
million? What are you talking about, man?
You could do it. You could do it.
Heck no.
So this one's 6-bedroom, 12 bath, 12,300 square feet. It's on almost 12 acres of land. It's been
Wow.
on the market for about 60 days.
Okay. So
It's
Just
really-
brand new.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
fresh listing.
Yeah.
Let's see what the video is all about.
you can turn.
No sound, but obviously with
Here, I can make the sounds.
oh, there's a deer.
Oh, this sound.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, it's coming from here.
oh, nice. Spared no expense. Wow, dude, look at that.
it's a very unique property though.
Yeah.
The
So
main
I'm
house.
curious if it's a brand new build or
Doesn't
or-
look like it.
So
I'll have to look
someone
on the
lived
MLS. I think it's. And just keep in mind, to stage homes like this, you're probably 25, 30K in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, dude, that's cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cheap.
That's cheap.
That's probably more.
for a home
I mean,
like
the
this.
another thing maybe it's the actual furniture.
Oh, yeah,
Because
custom.
sometimes when people live in those super expensive
Yeah.
homes, it's already
Right.
look like this.
Yeah.
I mean, they have
It's Anton's furniture on loan.
Dude, the music like makes my heart
Yeah.
sore.
Good job on the marketing, whoever this listing is.
Chris Iverson.
Is it?
Chris Iverson presents.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, it's very cinematic. An $85 million home. It's so like I can't wrap my head around. Like,
Yeah, property taxes alone are
Yeah.
brutal, right? Like,
what are the property taxes on this?
just to when you buy a home this high, you don't really worry about the property taxes, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
And quite honestly, if you're buying a home like this, you probably aren't living it full time either, because you
Right.
have multiple homes around
Yeah.
the world,
Right.
right?
So what do you think will be the strategy? Like, how to buy this home? Do they buy this like as an investment or like as an asset to keep it for a long time and then eventually it's appreciate and then
The way that I, as a peon, as somebody with not $85 million, like the way that I understand how the super wealthy kind of like move is like, so I never understood yachts, right?
yeah
Like a big old boat. Like, why would you buy like $1 billion boat, right?
yeah
But it's not so much about the boat. It's actually people with that much money, they buy those yachts kind of like to store their wealth, right? Because
Yeah.
like, you know, if the stock market crashes, whatever, like they just know that, okay, if they bought, you know, a $500 million yacht, a super yacht or whatever, right?
Mhm.
They know that that's essentially like 250 million cash or something if something happened. That's how I understand it. So I would think if you're buying an $85 million house, probably like, yeah, it probably serves a purpose in that sense too, like
Mhm.
kind of like wealth retention, like maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But for the yachts, I mean, do they keep the value like that? I thought like mostly like they're buying those yachts, you know, like if you do some kind of business deal or something, then you invite them on this business yacht and then, you know, they're like, oh, okay, this guy's a big deal. You know,
Well, I'm sure that's part of it too, but
yeah.
like when
But-
when it's that much money,
Yeah.
like so for instance, like, you know, the Russian oligarchs and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like depending on what happens politically, you know, like
Yeah.
they could sail it somewhere else where it's safe, where people can't take it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's interesting topic.
We should have a yacht salesman on our
Yeah.
show.
That's
We
true.
Talk about that.
yeah,
There's plenty. There's actually a lot. Like, if
Yeah?
you think about it. I know a big one down in like Monterey County.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Carmel,
Yeah, then you should invite him.
I don't know him.
have you
I'm
thought
just
about
saying-
buying a boat before?
No.
What about you, Anton? Have you ever wanted a boat?
Small one.
A small
Eventually,
boat?
yeah.
Like a rowboat?
When Anton says small, by the way, it's probably like
Right,
a
right.
125 foot yacht with a helipad on it.
Just a small boat for family
Yeah.
to enjoy. I mean, eventually maybe, but let's see. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking.
I
about
can just imagine. Like Anton's like, "Hey guys, I got a boat. Let's come down. Come, let's go out." And we walk out, and it's like, "Oh, that boat's no, it's this one." What the fuck?
Like that's just a towboat to get that other
exactly.
boat in.
This is for the crew. This
Right.
is
Yeah.
That would be
dude.
funny. Oh
I
man,
spare no expense.
Expert.
no expense.
Oh man, that's
if anyone can identify that line,
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
put it in the comment section.
yeah,
We'll send you a $25 gift card.
Amazon
We can- yeah.
or Starbucks.
Yeah.
Actually, like the boat, like after you mentioned White Lotus multiple times, I
Yeah.
started watching the season
Oh,
3.
you did. It's
Yeah, and
dark.
this Gregory guy, or what's his name? Gary now, yeah? He changed his
Oh
name.
yeah, Gary. Yeah.
Like his boat, this insane boat. How
Dude,
much
yeah.
money he got from this
Yeah.
woman?
Yeah, the
wow.
woman had a lot of money. I
It's
think.
insane.
So that this season's dark.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's so entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Noise.
so yeah, I mean, it just kind of shows you like between. I mean, again, very extreme homes, right?
Yeah.
Like polar opposites.
Mhm.
One's 488, the other's 85 million.
Yeah,
But if you drove from that house, the
Yeah.
488 to the one that's 85 million, that's a 40-minute drive. So very close to each
Yeah.
other. And it just
Yeah.
kind of shows you the dynamic that,
Yeah.
that is the Bay Area real estate market, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty crazy. Can you
It
actually
runs the
see
gamut.
like when was this home last sold and for how much? I'm just
For
curious.
the
for
85
the
million,
85 mil, yeah.
Yes, I will pull that up. It'd be interesting to see if it ever did sell.
I don't even think I've ever been to Portola Valley. Have you?
Been, yeah.
What's it like out there? Is it
It's
like a
a
commune?
different world. It's a whole different.
Because it's on 280. You just take a left, right? Away from Sand Hill.
Yeah. Well, no, it's in 101 too.
Oh, okay.
Like, it doesn't have any history.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to look in more detail. But
Okay. Interesting.
yeah,
What's the one home below like for sale in that area? I'm just curious.
so
Like
that
if
one
there
is the zip code on that one. Let me pull that up again.
85 million. God, that's so crazy.
I don't know.
940.
Do you think it's overpriced? Yeah, it would be interesting to see what's one below and then see to compare them. Like what? Like I mean, okay, 12 acres is for sure good lot.
I think like when it gets to that 85 million, like when you're talking about overpricing, underpricing, I think it's all just like funny money. It's like it's
Yeah.
all just magic. Kind of like, you know, the whole thing with like Trump's what is it? Mar-a-Lago
Yeah,
valuate. Remember that whole thing?
yeah.
Like I bet you there's strong arguments everywhere to make
Yeah,
it worth
I think
a
if you're
lot or a
billionaire,
little.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
all
it's
made up.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You know this thing like I mean, where was it? I think on Joe Rogan podcast. Like one guy asked like, okay, what's the 1 million seconds versus 1 billion seconds?
Oh, right.
Do you know that answer?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
It's
insane.
like I think 1 million seconds is like 10 or 15 days,
yeah,
whereas like 1 billion is like in years.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think like a 12 year or
Right.
something like that.
right.
It's
Insane.
like this is
People
how
don't
you can
understand.
imagine like
Yeah.
what's the difference in money. Is it?
Yeah, this goes back to our conversation we had on our previous podcast where I was like, Brad has no understanding of the scope of what a billion means. Because it's like $1 billion. Like people don't understand how, like, you know how we say, oh yeah, like Elon Musk is so rich and all these, right? And it's like, yeah, like we know he's rich, but we don't understand. Most people don't understand how much like wealth these people actually have, like Bezos and all
Yeah.
that. It's like beyond FU money.
Yeah, they can
Yeah.
buy
So-
elections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 1 million seconds is 12 days.
Yeah.
And 1 billion seconds is 31 years.
That's
Wow,
insane.
That's nuts.
See? That's
It's like-
crazy. Yeah.
So-
Right, that's, I think, because wasn't Brad's like aspiration to have $1 billion?
Was it?
I think
I
so.
don't remember that.
Yeah,
That's
something
a
like that.
pretty good
Yeah.
dream.
Oh, yeah. That's
I mean,
like,
or goal.
Well, you just want to be God.
I don't think I said $1 billion, did I?
What's that number for you guys? Just out of curiosity.
Man, I don't know. $1 billion.
You need $1 billion?
Yeah, man. You live in California.
$1 billion?
Yeah.
I'm just making stuff up.
Shit up now. Okay, we're at that part of the show.
Then
all
we're
right.
gonna do cut. I want to have $1 million. Like, you know how to do it.
So
Wait,
to answer your question,
yeah.
Anton, the next lowest price in Portola Valley is this beautiful home
Oh my
at $15.5.
Wow. So the
million.
gap is crazy.
So
Yeah.
so what makes, like, this is what I don't understand, right? Like if you're gonna buy those two homes, right, and then you can get
what in the whole bay?
So the last
oh my
largest sale in Portola Valley was $35 million in July of 2024. And the one with an actual house on it was $18 million. So,
Wow, that's a beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
look at this. For 18 mil, you can get that.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like, why would
And-
you pay 85 million
Wow,
That's a pretty
when you
sharp
can get an
That's
$18
very
million
nice.
compound? Dude,
Very
Spectre.
modern.
You know, remember in 007,
Yeah,
like Spectre? Like
Yeah.
that's where they have their annual meetings, dude.
in Portola Valley.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
for real?
Uh-huh.
In the movie?
Yeah.
That's what they say.
No. but if they
It
were
looks
real,
like- it looks
it looks like it. Like all the evil villains, like all of James Bond's arch nemesis,
Yeah.
nemesis, they
Yeah.
they all hang out there at 138 Coyote Road in Portola Valley.
Okay.
That's insane,
Oh.
man. Or Goya Road.
Okay.
Man, that's
Beautiful homes.
yeah, that's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah. So, but the gap is huge. Yeah. So
So it is
85
huge,
versus
yeah.
like a 18. So
Yeah.
or 15 or is it
Yeah.
on the market?
Yeah.
So I would be just curious what is so special there. Maybe it comes with the furniture, with the cars. Maybe I don't know.
Well, that one I think with the 85 million is almost 12 acres.
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah, that's true.
That's significant compared
Yeah.
to something like this that
Right.
sell for 18 million, and that one
Yeah.
was, let's see how many acres. That one was
Three,
3.1. 3.1.
Only
acres.
3.1.
Yeah, but it was built in 2024. This one. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Would you guys want so? What is the property taxes on that?
Oh, it's insane. I mean, it's millions. So, like,
the way you said that too. It's millions.
you could feed a town just on the property taxes,
right? Like, wouldn't you? So, like, if you buy, like, wouldn't you just want to maybe like not pay that much and then just feed a town?
right?
Right.
I ain't judging.
Yeah,
I'm curious
I mean,
if there are some kind of
I'm
tricks.
kind of judging.
Do you think there are some kind of tricks for the property tax? Can we actually see
I'm
the
sure.
85 mil home? Like, I think there is a tax record. Yeah. Can you see what are they paying?
Are we
For
allowed to? Like, I don't know what
I
the
don't
legal
know.
stuff is, but can we show this kind of stuff we're talking about?
It's all public.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
So people can just go on there and find it themselves. So.
Yeah. I just don't want to be messing with like because if an 85 and we're talking about very rich,
like,
powerful people.
Who's this podcast?
right, right.
Yeah.
They probably have AI scouring the internet.
Who are those guys?
Yeah.
So the tax history on this particular property
Whoa, 6 mil. Oh, is it? No, it was assessed. I see.
is assessed at $6
See,
million in
what?
2024. So
Right.
seems odd. I ain't gonna look into that, but I'll let somebody else do that.
That's very odd.
So in 2024, they paid $68,000 in property taxes.
For
Seems
an
a little
85
bit-
million.
Hmm.
I don't,
Very off.
a lot of questions.
Yeah.
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 Interesting. Gosh, $85 million. Do you guys would you want to live in a house like that?
I think for 85, I can imagine like a little bit crazier home.
If money is no object to you guys, would you want to live in a house like that?
I think this 18 mil home, that looks
Yeah,
attractive to
you
me.
would?
Something like that would be a little bit more reasonable, but I'm all about
Reasonable.
cool compared to when you get $85 million, right?
Well, that's like saying like, well, you know, like I don't know.
For me, like I'm all about having I don't need a huge house.
Right.
I just want something where, we got a playroom here and there, a movie room or
Yeah.
whatever. But
You say a
having those-
playroom?
yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, game room and stuff like that.
Oh, right.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know the way he said it. A playroom.
Just thinking for the little kids.
Like if Brad was like, hey Dan, welcome. I'm glad you came over to hang out. Let's go to my playroom. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to your playroom.
Why does it always got to go there? Like, I'm just thinking.
No, I'm just saying it sounds funny. It just sounds funny. Like I would never be like, hey guys, come to my playroom.
How are you gonna call it? My
And
gentleman's room.
that sounds a little better, I guess. Yeah. Anyways,
Anton would have a massage room.
yeah.
That's like,
For those
I'll
that don't
pass,
know,
Anton, thanks,
yeah.
bud.
Anton loves massages. He's a massage connoisseur.
He is.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I've been to massage.
A couple hours or
Yeah.
It's like my breakfast massage.
Yeah. I skipped it this morning.
But
Nice.
you know, so I have. I mean, we all have friends like in other parts of the country or the world or whatever, and they're always asking like, you know, the makeup of the Bay Area and how people can afford that type of home, right? I mean, everyone kind of thinks it's because it's the internet guys, right? The people that work at Google and Facebook or Meta or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I feel like, yeah, that's true, but there's a whole different level
Mm-hmm.
in terms of venture capitalist money, right?
Right.
Those are the guys I think that make the majority of the buyer pool that buys properties like that. So,
Yeah. There's a lot of uber wealthy people in the Bay.
absolutely.
What would be your dream home? Like,
Dude, I'm
would
so
you want it?
boring.
What you would? Like for me, usually like location. I would say like location is important,
Mm-hmm.
and then also like playrooms. I mean, something like this would be.
You
cool.
want a playroom too?
Playroom.
Man, you
like a game room, or
Kinky.
like, you know, some kind of like a fun room, like where
you
it's-
want a playroom and a fun room?
yeah, all
Jeez,
together
man.
combined, and the gentleman's room.
Oh
So
my goodness. You got to go to
Yeah.
Amsterdam for that.
I'm not going to Anton's house.
I mean, pool is nice. I don't know. A lot of people don't want a pool, but I love pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
pool is
too.
super nice. Like the home like in Hawaii
Right.
has a pool. It's so much fun for the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, like kids always have like they can spend their hours and I mean when the weather allows, like, you know, there's so warm there.
Yeah.
It's like so fun. Yeah, so fun for
Yeah,
the kids.
one of
Yeah.
my regrets is about our house is we should have put a pool in it when we bought it.
Yeah.
Just to have the kids have so much fun there during the summer, you know.
Yeah, I just found like a video. I think when Athena was 4 years old or something. I remember I recorded on the GoPro.
Mm.
And I was just cleaning up my GoPros, and I'm like, oh, let me check the memory card. And it was a video. Me and Athena actually went to the beach first in the rain, and then we went back
Nice.
to the pool because I think Tao went shopping or something.
Yeah.
Like we didn't want to go, so like, and I spent the whole day with Athena, and like we
Aw.
play in the pool like for hours, and I
Yeah,
and I kind of cut like a short video and then send it to Tao.
Yeah.
That was like.
so
beautiful.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's
she,
awesome.
she
man.
got very emotional. She's like, "Oh my god!" Because like we're also sending messages to her too. So Athena is like, you know, very cute, 4 years old.
Right.
Like, "Mommy, I love you, like
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And then Tao is like, "Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
she's like, you're such a good dad." I'm like, now you're saying it. Usually,
It's like if I'm such a good dad, why are you yelling at me all the time?
exactly.
That's funny, man. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I can't imagine living in one of those.
Yeah.
I think it's because like I don't know, dude. I don't dream big.
Mhm.
I'm like incapable of it. And also too, it scares me. Like I'm scared to get like lavish, extravagant things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. For me, I just
But-
want to live a simple
So,
life.
but what would be you like dream home? Or
Yeah,
how
dude.
you imagine this? I mean, yeah.
It'd be in that guy's backyard.
In that guy-
in
no,
Portola
for
Valley.
For real. So let's
Yeah,
say like
yeah.
a regular single family
No,
home. Like, oh, what
I'm
would be
actually dead serious. Like it'd be with a lot of land, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe next to a creek or something.
Yeah.
And then have like a modest house, just like a, you know, three bedroom house maybe.
Mhm.
And the house can be small, but I
Yeah.
want it to be surrounded by nature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so this is kind of weird, but like, I don't know why I've been thinking about this, but I feel like a lot of the, I guess like issues that come about, like modern issues, like it just seems like we're always fighting all the time and people are always like just being really negative. And I don't want to sound like a hippie,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
like even like this podcast, right? I'm constantly scared of like, oh man, I'm offending somebody or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You are. But yeah.
That is true. But
And by the way, Dan is holding back.
Yeah, he really
Right.
is.
It's not 100.
but like it's like, where does this come from? I think a lot of the angst and anxiety comes from like bigger cities when everybody's so close to each other. It's like on
Totally.
top of each
Yeah.
other. And I think like it's just not healthy for
Mhm.
us in general. And it's like I eventually would rather go to a small town.
Yeah.
I'd love to be in a small town where I know my neighbors, I know everybody, I feel safe, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, because just I even noticed this with myself. If I'm driving, right, and I see somebody that obviously needs help, right, like maybe a homeless person with mental illness or something. If we were in a small town, I think, like for instance, let's just say the three of us lived in a small town, we saw that, we'd probably talk about it and be like, hey, like we should go see what's up with them,
Mhm.
and like we could help them, right?
Right.
If you're in a small town, that's pretty normal.
Mhm.
But if, let's say I'm with my kid or whatever, right? Like I'm kind of like, man, I gotta like, oh, Diana's window's open. I gotta like roll it up and lock the doors because I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And that kind of mindset I don't like about myself,
Mhm.
but it makes sense because it's like, dude, how, right? There's
Yeah.
just so many issues, right?
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I think like for me to be happy, like I don't need a big house like that,
Yeah.
but it's more about like I want a community. Like I want to live in like a
Mhm.
smaller town in like a decent house,
Mhm.
on a lot of land, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a big workshop barn.
Mhm.
And then that's where I would have like my playroom.
Yeah.
Dan is
or
moving.
fun house or whatever.
Your cigar room.
yeah, there you go.
So
That
Yeah.
leads into
Yeah.
it's a good lead into our next podcast, which is talking about why the Californians leave the Bay Area.
Yeah, actually, what I was about to say, do you think there is place like this exists somewhere in California? Like a small,
think so.
small town village?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well-
And I think like the issue is like, okay, I'm about to touch the third rail here.
Oh, boy.
I don't know.
Here we go.
But like the reason why Californians and like New Yorkers get a bad rap, I think, is because, coming from a big city, right?
Yeah.
Like we have a lot of stuff, right? I mean, the pros to a big city is like opportunity, financial opportunity, right? The markets, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't really have that in like smaller towns. Like that's not what they're for, right? Like people don't need that. But when you live and grow up in a big city, your mind's kind of warped in that sense. Like that's how you derive value and like, you set your goals based on like wealth and all this stuff. Cause that's what it takes to survive in like a city like this. And then, you get transplants that kind of get burnt out and they go to a small town and they start bitching about how that small town sucks because it doesn't have good internet or whatever. And like you come in, you start buying up homes and just throw money at them.
Yeah.
Without any consideration for like the local people, right?
Mhm.
That's the issue, right? Like I think like if you go, let's say that you retire and you move to a smaller town, right? It's just like you need to kind of understand what the lifestyle there is and then integrate.
Yeah.
Like do your own thing, right? But
Mhm.
like also like don't go in there and like make it something else.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We should table.
talking
We should
out of my
table.
ass here.
Yeah,
but
I
we
thi- I
should
think
table
that's
this.
that's
Table this for the next
yeah.
podcast because
Yeah,
I think that's
So, yeah.
definitely a bigger and deeper discussion.
It
for
is,
sure.
yeah. There's a lot of nuance for sure. And
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
but I definitely haven't considered everything.
Yeah.
So I'm sure my viewpoints will change and stuff. But
Yeah. But in general, I think home in the nature, somewhere surrounded,
Yeah.
I think it's the best for me too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I agree. Next to the ocean is awesome.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I love ocean.
Mhm.
Or, I mean, I would say even Perry. Like, I mean, Perry is definitely.
Perry
like, I
Lane.
would, yeah.
Anton's
I would,
talking about his
I
other.
would- yeah, I would say this home, like, I can imagine just like retire there too. It's
Yeah.
nice. Just
a
add
beautiful
add couple things here and there, but it's quiet. It's nice, and Lumrock Park is close by. It's like you can ride the bike.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
nice.
I mean, at the end of the day, like all of us, we don't need much to be really happy. We
Yeah.
just need to feel safe. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yep.
We just need to feel safe and
Yeah.
have community.
Mhm.
And I think if you fulfill those things, I think a lot of problems go away.
Yeah.
And we
Not
need to
all
have,
of them, but a lot of
and
them.
we need good Wi-Fi.
And good Wi-Fi helps.
600 download and upload.
Yeah. Exactly.
There you go. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. All right, boys. You want to wrap it up?
Let's do it.
All right, cool.
Until
It
the
was good
next
seeing
time.
you guys. Peace out. Yeah, man, I feel like that definitely opens up a can of worms.
What?
Oh, yeah, that will be a big one.
Yeah,
Sure.
I feel like that's like an hour.
When we do it too, we should talk about. Let's think about like where we would want.